Hello folks, friends and happy people to another journey with Urlaubslust 24. This time on a cruise with Aida Cruises from Gran Canaria on the Canary Islands via Madeira to Tenerife, Fuerteventura and Lanzarote. The journey started with a flight to the Canary Islands. We arrived at Las Palmas de Gran Canaria and then drove with the Aida-owned bus to one of the largest ships of the whole Aida fleet. Due to the company-arranged transportation, we arrived relaxed at the ship and had no problems getting into it via the check-in, so we had the chance to get a first glimpse of this beautiful ship and finally get aboard to discover the insides of this ocean liner. A large ship like this provides many possibilities to explore different areas, and so we walked around a bit and stayed for a while in the beautiful and still empty beach club at the start of the journey. Yeah, the beach club is a class of its own, especially with bad weather. You can have a good time there. We would have needed this on the Norway cruise where everything was open up, but here on Canaries and Madeira they are not known for such bad weather that you would need the beach club to hide inside. Nevertheless, we took our first cocktail of our all-inclusive premium package and enjoyed the great view onto Las Palmas de Gran Canaria. Afterwards we continued discovering the ship, getting into the four elements, primarily a teenage and kids club with a climbing area and the entrance to the sliders. Later on we took a first glimpse into the restaurants. Here the Japanese one with the beautiful cherry blossoms. Even their falls, they looked pretty realistic, and it was kind of a beautiful surrounding for your Japanese sushi or specialties. The discovery continued. We saw the reception and got a first view into the really large shops on the Aida Nova. Of course, in the haven they are still closed. They only open up when being on the water due to tax regulations. And a classic on the Aida ships is the great 3 stories stage in the middle of the ship, opened up. Here are the nightly events like shows, like comedy. Here are the daily explanations of the next harbors, and you can have a relaxed time when there is no show at all. Another highlight on every Aida cruise ship is the art gallery, and on the Aida Nova it is the largest art gallery I ever explored on a cruise ship. You have many areas to have a look at the great artworks from different styles and artists. You can buy merely anything with a little discount when the artworks are getting into the art auctions. which will happen on different occasions and different days during the cruise. Another unique experience on the Aida Nova is the art bar. Here you can chill yourself, also with artworks on the walls that you can buy at any time. And the art bar is also a pretty nice special tip for those who would like to have a bit more laid back time, because it's not so filled up like other bars. Here I got for you a little look into the cabin of my colleague, a pretty nice one with a seating area down the window and great view outside. Another highlight is the outdoor fitness area of the Aida Nova. Here you can work out with your own weight, and it's pretty cool, especially on roads like Caribbean or Canary Islands. The inside fitness club is also pretty large, but you have to keep in mind it is one of the biggest, one of the largest ships of the Aida fleet. So even the fitness club is big. There are so many passengers. When it's packed, it might be that you have to wait 5 or 10 minutes to get on the cardio or workout machine you would like to use. A special possibility for us, there were some Aida Stars rehearsals on this ship because they were trained for the next cruise. For us, always exciting, a short glimpse into the casino area with lots of slots and different other machines, and of course some blackjack and roulette tables. Primarily electronic devices, but you can have a few hours of fun here. But always keep in mind, the bank always wins, so only play with money you can afford to lose. If you win, enjoy, but never get hooked up there, because on the long run, no casino would open up if they won't get your money. New to me on Aida Cruises was the Rock Box Bar, something like a hard rock cafe on sea. Here is karaoke, here are some rehearsals, some shows, some experiences at night focusing on rock music from the 50s to today. And next to it, the Cube, some kind of a dance club, chill out club with dance and chill music of different decades. Every time we took a look inside, it was pretty empty, whereas the rock box was packed all the time. After this exciting insights, it was already time for the first show, the presentation of the Aida Stars. Have fun! After such a great show, it was already time to leave Las Palmas de Gran Canaria and get on sea for the first time. Beautiful sights getting out of the harbor. And finally the day got wrapped up with a nightly show of the Aida band in the beach club before we head into bed for our first exciting day at sea. That was kind of a show wrapping up the departure day. We had such fun with the Aida band and drank some of the cocktails of our all-inclusive package before getting to bed and dreaming of the first day at sea. This first day at sea started with a little workout on the cross trainer in the fitness club. I tried to explore all the surroundings and to get myself a bit more in shape, because cruises always are a risk for gaining weight due to the all-inclusive meals. Afterwards I explored the ship a bit. It was a great sunny day, so I had beautiful views onto the ocean, and later on we took a little breakfast and got a first look into a typical German Brauhaus. Of course, this is more a Bavarian and not a German thing, but I had to put it into the movie as it is on the ship. And afterwards we had a short look into the rehearsals I already talked about. As usual on days at sea, we merely spend it discovering more of the ship, having an insight into the French Kiss restaurant or different other areas. The Aida Nova also has a street food area where you can get street food all day long. We had some cocktails and a cigar. We waited for what the day will bring in due course, and we also had the chance to watch the NFL German game with Tom Brady on our TVs in the cabins. Afterwards, we were able to explore one of the greatest sunsets we ever saw on a cruise ship. It was stunning and beautiful, and I will leave you with it.
Gut erwartet. Schön und mysteriös. Mit Zelten in den verschiedensten Formen und Größen. Und eines schöner als das andere.
Let's go, it's twilight, the time is high, it's time to bring the circus. Center pole, drive the stakes, pull the lines, the canvas raise becomes the circus. Sunset to sunrise, a one night stand beneath the skies, the circus. Carnival, spectacle, it's a big top festival here at the circus. Martinettes!
Wasn't it a spectacular show, this steampunk circus? Great costumes, great music, and afterwards we headed back into our rooms to get a bit of sleep for our next and first day on another island. It got to Madeira in Portugal. Madeira is known for its picturesque landscapes, subtropical climate, and unique culture. The island is a popular tourist destination for its hiking, wine, and festivals. The capital city of Madeira is Funchal, known for its historic center and the famous Levada trails. The island also offers a variety of water sports such as swimming, windsurfing and diving. Also, the island offers many festivals like the Flower Festival and the Wine Festival. It is known for its wine production and its unique style of embroidery. The island is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The ship embarks in Funchal, which is a beautiful little town and a great starting point for explorations of the whole island. You can choose either to book an adventure via the cruise line, get a taxi next to the harbor, or explore the city all by yourself. You can see the diversity of the island from this short taxi ride alone. Modern roads descend steeply to the sea and up the mountains, then spectacular views of villages clinging to the cliffs, winding roads cutting their way through the countryside, and spectacular views that were to continue to do so hereafter. Coupled with fantastic natural beauties, such as the lizards looking for nectar from the blossoms. Yes, you can hardly get enough of these landscapes, and even big words don't help. Afterwards we went to Cabo Girao, where we were able to experience a pretty cool performance. Interesting and somehow really local flair. The following steep coast then was not for the faint of heart. I have good nerves, so I bent over and enjoyed the view. The taxi ride ended for us at the famous Mercado dos Lavradores Funchal's market, where there were all kinds of cool things to look at and of course to buy, from spectacular exotic fruits to plants, clothing and fish. There is simply everything you need on a daily basis or as a tourist for those who stayed at home as a souvenir. We then strolled down Funchal's shopping street, sampled some of the local delicacies from local bakeries which were extremely tasty, and looked out over the canals. We simply enjoyed the hustle and bustle of a Portuguese city that is not overcrowded by tourists but enriched. On the promenade there was a lot of food and all sorts of odds and ends offered for sale by traders, and also some music. With a walk through Funchal in the evening past the Christmas market stalls, which unfortunately weren't open yet, this day also came to an end. It was time to say goodbye to the capital of Madeira. The day flew by very quickly, and the view of the Aida Nova in the nightlight was a real pleasure and a great introduction to the second day at sea on board of the ship. This second day again started sporty and with a delicious breakfast, before I couldn't resist making a few comments which I also synchronized for you right here. Have fun with it. In any case, one must not forget that it can get very crowded on a day at sea. It is almost unbearably cramped outside, you hardly get a seat, and the people show extremely little consideration. They block other chairs as footrests and thereby reduce the seating options even further. All in all, a great ship, but on sea days with nice weather you should look for something inside to avoid fighting with other passengers. By the way, if you haven't already done so, leave a free subscription, like or a comment. That always helps us a lot. Thanks so far. And now let's continue. As a special, I included an insight into an art auction. If you got any queries, as it is in German, please leave a comment, ask questions. I will get back to you and explain anything you would like to know.
210 Euro, 210 Euro zum zweiten. Jedes Stück der Auflage ein kleines Unikat an sich ist ein großes Unikat. 3.700 Euro zum dritten zugeschlagen für 3.650 Euro.
Always an exciting and nerve-wracking story. You had to really recover from that on this second day at sea. Beautiful pictures and then chic clothes. You can see dinners coming up, and then of course the next show of the Aida Stars. Have fun! The beautiful conclusion of a relaxing day, and full of anticipation on Tenerife, we went to bed. Waking up in your all-time favorite place on Earth, or at least one of your all-time favorite places on Earth, then of course a day starts off really cool. For me, Tenerife is more than just a holiday destination, it is a kind of mental relaxation. Accordingly, I have been to the island very often, and on this trip I only extensively explored the capital, Cruz de Tenerife, and captured it on film for you. But before we went outside, we wanted to treat ourselves to a few hours in the spa area of the Aida Nova, which was a bitter disappointment for me. Ultimately, the spa area of the much smaller Aida Sol was much nicer. You can see nice pictures here, but the stupid thing about this offer of the spa area from 8 AM was that the cleaning staff spent hours cleaning around the pools with high pressure cleaners, so there was no spa experience whatsoever. A complaint was only superficially responded to, which is why I cannot recommend the early time. I ended the visit after just 1 hour instead of 4, and instead set out to explore Santa Cruz. The beautiful reflection of the water with the sky at the Playa de España, in the background the ship, a little on the other side the shopping street of Santa Cruz. Everything has a magical flair for me, brings me down and leads to pure relaxation. I walked through the city for a total of 8 hours that day, bought a jersey for the 100th anniversary of the local football club CD Tenerife, looked at the market, the Mercado de Nuestra Señora de Africa, where there are all kinds of delicacies to acquire there. I walked through all sorts of alleys, met homeless Germans with dogs who were incredibly nice, and spent a really remarkable day. I'd be happy to take you further, take a look. In the meantime, I'll synchronize my live comments for you again. I can only warmly recommend Tenerife to you. Santa Cruz de Tenerife is a place where you could relax, live and work. This is where the local people meet. It is very urban here, and yet you have all the amenities of the Canary Islands with the sea in the foreground and mountains in the background. Tenerife is really a place very, very close to my heart. Then I went a little further for a Christmas stroll, and of course the obligatory stop at the auditorium could not be missed. When it's particularly warm, this park in Santa Cruz is a real treat. It's huge, right in the middle, completely green, has the shadiest squares in town, plus beautiful statues, wonderful botany, a couple of fountains, and just plain lovely wildlife. Flora, fauna, everything fits. In the middle of Santa Cruz, and one of the reasons why I could live in this city if the framework conditions around work, family and co were also right. Much fun yet. Here I am standing in front of the park's cactus collection, one of the most extensive cactus collections on the island or the Canary Islands as a whole. Here you will find exotic and prickly cacti from all over the world. I wish you a lot of fun and show you a few. And relaxation is not neglected either. In the middle of the oasis there's a beautiful cafe with a terrace. Rumor has it that the best barraquito in the Canary Islands is found here. I can't confirm it because I don't like coffee. Hello my dears, that's it from me today from the island's capital, Santa Cruz de Tenerife. For me, the most beautiful capital of the Canary Islands on the most beautiful island of the Canary Islands. Or, in a minimum, the most diverse. Definitely for me, it is the most beautiful. For others, the hiking islands, the green islands have even more to offer. But I can find everything on Tenerife, the island of eternal spring. Accordingly, I feel most comfortable here and have been here more than 10 times, and I can live here if it were feasible, and I'm always happy to be here. I've now walked for you for 8 hours through the capital Santa Cruz simply because I've seen so much from the island before and didn't want to spend any more money on an additional excursion this time. The weather was still fantastic here in mid-November, so it's worth a visit all year round anyway. Ihr seht immer noch traumhaftes Wetter hier Mitte November. I hope I was able to give you a great impression of the island's capital. There's a lot to experience, a lot to see, a lot to discover. We went to maybe 2/3 of the sites. We didn't go to the museums, we didn't go to the basketball or football stadium, but I bought a few things in the fan shop. It's always nice to be here, and I hope you'll end up in Tenerife at some point too. If that's the case, you're planning it, then feel free to write it in the comments, ask things you still want to know, let me give you tips. As I said, I've been here so many times I can tell you all sorts of things. Until then, all the best and until the next port. Alles klar, bis dahin, alles Gute und bis zum nächsten Stop. Incredibly eventful day. I was able to sleep well, and the next morning I could enjoy the sunrise over Lanzarote, the next stop of this trip, on the television in my inside cabin. Lanzarote is one of the most scenic of the Canary Islands. Cooled lava flows run along the lunar-like surface, volcanoes lie dormant, and cultivated fields on which wine, figs, corn and tomatoes grow. The Montañas del Fuego, the Mountains of Fire, lie in the fascinating Timanfaya National Park, and the long beaches of Lanzarote consist of white, red or black sand. We rented a car, but had to get off the ship very quickly because there was only a very limited number of cars. I was the first, yes! Then we went straight to Timanfaya National Park. There's an extremely interesting visitor center there, where you can learn everything you need to know about volcanic landscapes and the surrounding mountains and get a spectacular view of the before mentioned lunar landscape. We then continued our road trip a little ended up in a wide variety of beach towns and simply got our own picture of this really beautiful island. As you can see, there's something to discover around every corner, but we wanted to keep going because there was still the spectacular house of the famous Lanzarote artist Cesar Manrique to explore. So, after a fast ride, we arrived at the house of Cesar Manrique, which is now the seat of the Fundación Cesar Manrique. Cesar Manrique himself was born in Arrecife, the capital of Lanzarote, in 1919, and the island was to play a crucial role in his life and work. It is the source of much of his pictorial imaginations, the landscape of his childhood, and of great importance for his later perception of the world. It is also the place where he realized most of his architectural projects, and it's the area where he created a new building model that left a lasting mark on the current shape of the island and some of its neighboring islands. The foundation was founded by Cesar Manrique and a group of friends in 1982 and was officially inaugurated in March 1992, the year of his death. The Cesar Manrique Foundation is a private cultural foundation that is financially self-supporting and does not pursue a profit-making purpose. Accordingly, the entrance fees, which are also very moderate, go 100% towards the preservation of the foundation and to discover the residents. Having this artistic style built into the rocks within the landscape is truly breathtakingly spectacular. One can immediately imagine living there. The entire building complex has been redesigned by Cesar Manrique himself to adapt it to its new function, namely that of a museum with the appropriate structure. That means he took the necessary steps before his death to ensure the preservation of the island in its current form. We continued our journey to another highlight, the view of the island of La Graciosa. It has just now been accepted and recognized as another by the Canary Islands as a permanent place to live. Spectacular to be able to see the small island in all its glory from Lanzarote. Finally, I went to see Arrecife a bit, but didn't spend as much time there after a long day. Nevertheless, I would like to share the pictures with you and hope you have a little fun with them.
wanted you would work it.
Love is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart, please don't break it. Love was made for me and you.
And you play it coy, but it's kinda cute. When you smile at me, you know exactly what you do. Oh baby, don't pretend that you don't know it's true. 'Cause you can see that I look at you. And in this crazy life, through this crazy time to choose, it's you. You make me sing your every line, your every word, your everything.
I see you driving round town with the girl I love, and I'm like, forget you. I guess the change in my pocket wasn't enough. I'm like, forget you and forget 'cause you said I'm a treasure, every winter. Like that's ain't that something? Although there's pain in my chest, I still wish you were there. If I forget you.
Yes, as you could see, the day ended with another show by the Aida Stars. You definitely won't get bored, and examining the probations was once again a highlight. Pretty beastly, right? After getting up, the last day of the trip was already on Fuerteventura with its capital Puerto del Rosario. Puerto del Rosario is a very well laid out small town. The original name of the city, Puerto de Cabra, means port of goat, and was still valid until the 19th century because the animals from the surrounding towns were brought to the local pastures. With the growth of the port, however, the goat was no longer a status symbol, and in 1957 the city was given its current name. We grabbed a rental car again and went first to La Oliva, believing that it is busy and a beautiful city. As you can see, there was nothing going on early in the morning, so it only served as a small stopover on the way to the dunes on Fuerteventura. We enjoyed the view of the extensive landscape with the mountains in the background, but didn't stay there too long. And to be honest, this last day wasn't marked by too much activity anyway. Fuerteventura is a rather unassuming island suitable for relaxation and windsurfing. Nevertheless, we made some nice videos which we don't want to withhold from you. Have fun! The spontaneous visit to the Museo del Queso, the Museum of Cheese, was another small highlight. The museum itself is kept very simple, but you could at least find out how the cheese was traditionally produced on the Canary Islands, and you learned that the pattern of the cheese represents the origin of the respective island. However, what was particularly spectacular here was the building with its roof terrace, from which one could observe the rapidly changing weather conditions with lots of wind and storm and clouds, which are so typical of the Canary Islands. That was the real highlight of this trip. After Tuineje we went back to the ship, and here's the comparison between the two Aida ships, Aida Nova, one of the largest, and Aida Sol, one of the smallest, that you can see in all their glory on our Norway video. It was exciting to have the two ships next to each other because our Aida Sol voyage was only a month ago and the ship didn't seem so small. But standing side by side, you could see the Aida Sol as a dingy of the Aida Nova. All in all, it was a nice day here on Fuerteventura. We enjoyed the last evening on board and can say that the trip was more than worth it. Finally, we watched the rehearsals for the show The Voice of the Ocean, and then we waved properly goodbye to the Aida Sol.
Wird nach dem Tod ein Engel erdet, den Blick in den Himmel
Well guys, that's almost it for the last impressions of the Aida Nova. One last piano concert in the evening, and then it was time to go to bed and fly back the following day. The trip really was beautiful, and we hope you liked the compilation of the video. Leave a like or a comment and subscribe to the channel for free if you want to see more exciting travel videos in the future. We thank you very much for watching and your support, and look forward to meeting you again here at Urlaubslust 24. Have a great time, all the best, health and happiness in the world. Until then, bye bye.